Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very excited to meet up with Don today. Don has an amazing DIY Sprinter campervan conversion that he's going to give us a tour of today. So join us.
Hi, I'm Don Adams. Bought a van last year. It took me 5 months to build. That way my wife and I can travel to my son in Alabama and do some other traveling also. Everything from the running boards here, the steps, are all hand fabricated. These pieces over here for this 3-inch tube quarter wall are cut into 7 pieces to make this into a bend, to make it look like it was bent instead of welded together and sanded. And then I had that rhino lined with a, they call it a Raptor finish on that, and also the roof rack up top, which houses my Dometic awning, my 440 watt Canadian solar panel, and then in between there I have a Dometic air conditioner and a Max air fan. Right here I have a little tip out that I built for a table that folds out, folds over, locks in, so I can put my induction cooktop on it, and I plug it in right here so I can plug it in and do some cooking outside. I could do it inside also, but most of the time we're going to be using it outdoors. I also have a little fire extinguisher in there just in case too, just for safety. This right here is my entry, so it makes a statement here, this piece of maple here. I tried to match the floor, the vinyl luxury floor, and I made it out of solid maple and 3 stains to get it to try to match the floor, and custom made it to fit in. That's all screwed in from the back with stainless steel screws so they don't rust. Coming around here, the van build got to be a little heavy, so I had Mercer Spring put an extra leaf in the back. I had the stock rims on, of course, when I bought it. I put black Rhino rims and Goodyear tires on it. I had a crew van originally when I ordered it. I put in 2 awning windows on both sides of the van. I have this, of course, is the 2500 4x4 in a Tenorite gray. I have these doors that open all the way up 180 degrees, so they open all the way. You just got to watch there when the awning windows are open that you don't hit the window. On the back side here, I have my smart plug, stainless steel smart plug with a fabricated steel box to house it inside. I have my smart plug also, 50-footer in there. Of course, it came with the hitch. This is just, I fabricated something real quick just for a step so I can step up in the back. This side here, have an outdoor shower, hot and cold water. Plug in my shower wand, coiled hose. Also back here I have an air compressor connection with a 50-foot hose. I have an onboard 3/4 horse compressor that will pump up a 9-gallon tank in about 4 minutes. So it does a really good job at that. This floor is insulated and then vinyl floor. So the thickness here, I had my brother-in-law fabricate me a piece of stainless steel, so it covers everything and gives it a good finish. Back here also, he gave me also some stainless steel grill for my vent. I have that hooked into, when it gets hot in the battery section, that it'll cool it, turn on automatically with a temperature. If you look in the back here, you got a dinette that it can seat 6 people easily. A 4-foot table which can compress down on the hydraulic lift pedestal. It'll go down and rest on the actual wood pieces here, and then this will convert into a bed that'll sleep 2 people down the bottom. This van actually will sleep 4 people. I will show you that a little bit later, and it has seat belts in here for 3 people. Coming around this side, you see the roof rack with the ladder that was fabricated. And I attached it to the existing stock rails, and I bolted them down so that actually can be taken off, and it was taken down about 3-4 times during the fabrication process. These windows here, this is the window I said is the other one I put in. This one came on the van, and so in between here we put vinyl wrap to make it look like there was a window all the way down, so it didn't have that black, gray, black look. So it made it look a little bit better. Underneath of the van, I have a 9-gallon stainless steel air tank that's connected to my 3/4 horse air pump compressor up underneath of the hood, and that's connected to the back, so I have an air nozzle in the back, and it also works my 29 and 24-inch air horns, truck air horns, because the horn on these Mercedes are terrible. All right. I also, underneath it there, if you didn't see, there was a 9-gallon water tank for the shower and a 9-gallon one for the sink. And they're actuated by an electric valve that you work from inside the van. I have LED headlights I ordered with this van. Tannerite gray, I told you. I have an LED light bar up top. It's got the cover on it right now. I have 2 LED lights on the very top for the sides. And I have 2 shining out the back that I can work independently from the driver's seat. Over here, I forgot to mention, but I do have a awning, that Dometic awning that comes out with LED lights on it. And one of the safety things in here that I had is they have a transmitter that if it's out and I go and push the ignition button, it'll automatically come in. It'll automatically retract. Right here I have swivel seats. Both of these swivel Scopia pieces. I have this one sitting with this for my lagoon table that I can move anywhere I want, to even have this one turn around and, you know, have it for both of us or just one. You know, so this works out really well. And I guess I'll show you what I can do with this too. This can be removed. It's a tight fit. This would come out. I'll put this outside. My jump seat for my 3rd person. This is a seat base that Gary and I fabricated, make it look like an actual stock piece. Painted the same. Those hooks just go right in. Clicks in. And that's it. You have a 3rd seat. Also, it has a seat belt bolted to the floor. So it has a seat belt for your kid to sit in. Or it could be my mom riding there and my wife sitting back here. Over here, I have my diesel control here for my heat. My S-Bar D2 is mounted underneath of the seat. Dimmer light switch for under cabinet lights and ceiling lights. This is a Dometic 120 volt air conditioner that can run off of the batteries or shore power. This is the stock headliner that came with the van. And behind here, this was all taken down and Havelock wool was put in throughout the whole van. But when it was put back up, I had to make all these custom cuts here into the cabinets because everything's radiused and rounded for all the cabinets to follow the Mercedes lines. So this cabinet here is just really for storage. They got self-lift up lids to hold them open. We have motion sensor lights that shut off after 15 seconds when you're not using them. This one here is my silverware drawer. All my drawers and door heads were given to me by Adelphi Kitchens that I'm a dealer for. They worked out really well. The wood tops in this van build is an African walnut. It's called Sadua, and this is all natural, just with a oil finish on it. Came out really nice with an undermount stainless steel sink. This sink also has a pull-out spray to rinse down. You could use it for out there, but I have an outdoor shower, so I don't really need to use it for that. All this beadboard, or slat wall, if you want to call it, was all made just out of 1/2-inch plywood. I have my outlet 120 GFCI breaker. This is my switch for my hot water heater. Underneath here is your your LED under cabinet lighting, which you don't see any wires anywhere because I have a false bottom. All the wires run in between, so you don't see any wires inside these cabinets, both sides. In here, I keep my stool. In here, I have another cutting board, and I have my 2-burner induction cooktop that we can use either on the counter here, on the counter over top of the refrigerator, and plug it over here or outside, so I can use that anywhere I want. Underneath of this cabinet, I have my awning safety switch, so if I have this off, it won't work, even if it's hit with the remote control. This is my pump right here for my water, and this is my dump valve for the 2 gray water tanks. And then in there is my hot water heater. So you get a 6-gallon hot water heater inside of this. All the cabinets are finished inside and out. And all the doors lock with a click. Over here I have a Nova Cool refrigerator, the big one, for underneath of a counter. It's a 5.4 cubic feet. Get a freezer in underneath of this one here. On the sides here, I have an electric fan that I inserted also. Vent here and vent from the back side to try to get the heat out from the refrigerator. Also in the front is an area here for the heat to come out of. These shades here, I have the whole shade system on all the windows. And they work great, insulated shades. They'll just undo and just go back down. I have them on all the windows, even the Max Air fan. Here I have another cabinet. Light comes on. Microwave. All these dovetailed maple drawers, full extension, soft close. And then they click to lock shut. So all 4 of them, they're all big. Pots and pans, blankets, towels, purses. Over here I have the shower. This was a little bit of a ordeal to figure out here. This here is a product called Wet Wall from Wilson Art. Like I said, I'm a cabinet maker by trade. I have used this in houses, and it comes in straight sheets. They said that it's not supposed to bend, and it doesn't bend. So I had to figure out how to bend it. So my wife and I made up a buck to fabricate this exact bend that these cabinets have in it. So the whole wall, so when I stand in here, I'm 5'8", and I still have plenty of clearance in here, and it's a 3-foot wide shower. I have a porta pot down here that can be taken out. We travel with it there, but we can take that out of there. This shower curtain here, right here, just keeps the water off the wood door when you're in the shower. Now let me show you the back, the dinette area, where all the hard work was. We have the same tabletop that I made out of the African walnut. I say this table can go down, and it squashes down. These I have on lift so I can work on the electrical if I have to. I have a 3,000 watt Ames inverter down there. I have the temperature gauge over in the corner. It tells me degrees. It is existing right now, and then what it needs to turn the fans on here at 115 degrees. So if it gets that hot, it'll turn the fans on to exit all the air out of here. This is my Lynx distributor by Victron. Smart Shunt. This is for my solar shutoff. The MPPT for my solar charging system, and then I have a DC to DC charger for the alternator to charge the batteries. Now this whole area right from here all the way down to here is 824 amp hours of SOK lithium batteries. They work very, very well. Now if I shut these things here and I pull this little tab here, I got more storage in the back, but this actually turns into the bed if I lower this table. So if I move this and I unclip these two, this is hydraulic. Let me just lift this up a little bit. This will go down. It'll lock. And it'll stay there. This will come down like this. Placemats would come off. This one would go here. This one would go here. Then your sheets would go on it and you just lay across the whole area here. On the bottom of these, I have an angle down in here, magnets, and I also have storage down here. But this will just go back into the V that's here and it never falls out. On this side, if we lift both of these up, I have my 30-gallon freshwater tank with my 12-volt pump, and all the fresh water would come from the fitting on the outside of the van. It's underneath, so you didn't see it. It's not in the side of the van, and it comes in there into the tank. From the tank, comes out of the pump, goes in this wall, which is about 2 inches thick. Plumbing comes up, goes over the top of the van, down this corner of this cabinet to the hot water heater and the sink, and back over. The hot water would come back over to your shower and your outdoor shower. On the side here, of course, I built the same slat wall. I made it out of just plain plywood, 1/2-inch plywood, with my Fez tool. These custom shades have magnets in the side so it holds it back to the curve. That work nice even if you're traveling, they don't pop up. So these can go and hide up here. Up above here, I have all my LED lights, all knotty cedar with tongue and groove. Now I want to show you how we can sleep 4 people in this van. It had 2 on the bottom, which is plenty for, you probably fit 3 or 4 kids maybe here, but anyway, we're going to say 2 adults. And then right here with this push of this button, this bed is going to come down and rest here and on the back 2 cabinets in here. And this little gadget here, my wife made this all up here because the wires run through a track in here that activate the motor in the back. And there you have your bed for 2 more people. I engineered this. I kind of took ideas from different people and tried to figure out how I could do this myself without buying anything. So I got an old motor for a slide out system for a travel trailer as the motor, and I fabricated a metal rod across and have these straps, these like a seatbelt material, to wrap around this tube as it's spinning, and wraps all 4 up at the same time to lift it equally and let it down equally. Up top I have it anchored to the metal of the roof on all 4 corners. And the safety part of this is if I want to sleep 2 people underneath of here, underneath of this bed, I have 4 supports that the bed comes down to, so it gives you a little bit more even room underneath. It probably gives you 2 feet 30 inches. Okay, now underneath of here, if you want to see underneath, this memory foam mattress, custom mattress I had made. Here's your cedar, and this is all aluminum frame that I made around here, so it's nice and strong. And then I covered it with the cedar, the knotty cedar. And these pieces right here are spring for a bed, and I had to fabricate and drill every one of these holes. These kind of hold in here and pop into holders and snap back in, and they work very well. Like I said, we stayed in for 5 weeks straight and it was comfortable. The awning windows, when you open this up and the max air fan up top, it just draws the air right over top and right out. And the last thing I have that I didn't show you yet, it would be the carbon monoxide detector.
Don, thank you very much for taking the time today to give us a tour of your awesome creation. Just so I could recap this for the viewers, this is a 2021 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 2500, 170-inch wheelbase, non-extended, four-wheel drive with the Mercedes Blue Tech diesel engine.
Right.
Get about 18 to 20 miles per gallon.
Yeah, about 18,
And-
16 to 18, depending on hilly.
And you have the low range too.
Yep.
And you have the air compressor, so if you air down your tires and take it on the beach, you have a way to pump them back
Yeah.
up.
Works great.
440 watts of solar on the roof, 825 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries.
24 amp hour batteries.
Wow, that's a mega battery bank. And the air conditioning, we talked off camera, you have a soft start capacitor built in, and that's powered off a 3,000 watt Ames inverter.
It can work off the inverter, or it will work off of shore power, of course.
So if you're only plugged, it's a 30 amp power cord, but if you're only plugged into a 15 or 20 amp outlet, you could possibly run air conditioning without popping the breaker.
Yeah, 20 amp will definitely run that, but the batteries will even run it for a while too.
Now, my viewers know I do a lot of these tours, right? I'm filming about 2 episodes a week right now, and I always geek out. Everybody does an amazing job on their creations. You like kicked it up another notch. Some of the materials that you used, the quality of the cabinetry, all this fabrication, like the running boards, the roof rack, you did all that, and you have vendors that you know that were able to help with some of the supply of the stuff. I'm totally impressed. What are your plans now?
We're going to travel a lot more than what we have, and we're going to travel to Alabama. Also, it's a comfortable ride driving this compared to a truck. In my truck, I have a F350 that it's not as comfortable as this. So we're gonna travel a little bit. Yeah, just a few people I wanted to thank for helping me out on this build too. It wasn't just me. My wife helped a lot. I have some of the metal fabrication here was done by my brother-in-law from Metal Fabrication. Metal Specialties of New Jersey is his company. My company is Adams Mica Designs for the cabinets. Gary Betsy helped me with some fabrication on the metal work. Gary Perry helped me on a lot of the build also. I've helped him on a couple of his builds, and he helped me on this one. And you know, I just stepped this up a lot from before because I could. That's all. I want it to be top of the line.
And it's a community, van building and home building. It's all a community. Everybody's there to help everybody. And it's an awesome job. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us today.